having a meeting and that they wanted us to leave latest by Friday, but really they wanted us to be like on the first flights out of there. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Chiara. And as you guys can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be finally explaining why I was in Brazil, how long I was planning on being there, why it is that I had to come back. As you guys can see by the title of this video, I think you guys can already kind of tell why it is that I had to come back. If you guys are here new to my channel, I was living in Brazil for about 2 months. I left in January. I was living in the state of Santa Catarina. At the end of this video, I'm also going to do a little bit of a Q&A type of thing. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I had put on my Instagram a couple of days ago to ask me questions, anything you guys wanted to know about Brazil, about my time there, and all of that stuff. So if you guys want to be a part of different Q&A or just like video ideas that I'm doing later on in my channel, make sure you guys go over to my Instagram and you guys follow me. So you guys can stay up to date on like everything that I put on my story, my pictures, all that good stuff. So I kind of made a list of like the different things that I wanted to talk about, just so that this video wasn't all over the place. So we're just gonna get right into it. So the first thing was, of course, why I moved. So as I mentioned a couple videos back in my I'm Back on YouTube video, I had said that I was in my last semester of the University of Florida. And I was I'm gonna be graduating with my bachelor's in May, but I wasn't gonna be in Gainesville for my last semester. So what I had planned was that I was gonna study abroad in Brazil for the last semester of my senior year of UF. So that's what I did, like all of fall semester. I was just getting everything in order so that I was able to do that. And I was going to be going to Brazil for, the program was really about 4 months, but I was going to be staying until June, or honestly, I really didn't have a return date. I didn't know when I was going to come back after I finished my program. So I just had everything in order so that I was able to do that. And the beginning of January, like January 12th, I packed up my stuff. I went to the airport. My mom and my aunt, they went with me, and we did a little bit of sightseeing before I actually got to where it was that I was going to be living in Brazil. And yeah, I packed up all my stuff and I went to Brazil, and I was planning on being there for about 6 months. So yeah, so I got there about January 12th. When I first got there, I got to Sao Paulo. I did some sightseeing in Sao Paulo. Later on, I went to Rio, and then finally I got to Santa Catarina, the capital of Santa Catarina, Florianopolis. And that's where I was going to be living for the next couple of months, and that's where I was going to be doing my study abroad program. So I loved being in Brazil. I loved being in Florianopolis. Literally, guys, like I was living on an island with 42 beaches. Like the weather was great. I had like an apartment close to like the university that I was going to. Like the people that I met there were amazing. Like honestly, it was, even though it got cut short, I was only there for 2 months, a little more than 2 months. It was such an amazing experience, and I was so happy to be there. And it was really sad to have to come back because, like I said, I didn't even know when I was going to be coming back to the States. I knew I was going to stay at least until the beginning of June because I had some things planned. Like I was going to be taking like a proficiency test in Portuguese, and it wasn't going to be administered until June. So I knew for sure that I was going to be there at least until then. And it was kind of just like an overnight thing that my program got canceled basically. And they told us that we had to go back home. So how I found out that my program got canceled. So I went to the beach that day. I was just gonna hang out with some friends. I had like some other people that I had met that were also gonna be meeting at the beach, and we were just gonna have a good time. Like I was at the beach all day. We went to 2 different beaches. We went to this other beach to like see the sunset. And I remember just like being there, and like it was just such a beautiful day. Like me and all my friends, we had such a good day. Then later on after the sunset, we went back to like the city that we were living in. And as soon as I got home, like I got in the shower. And, with everything that was going on with like the coronavirus, there was already this uncertainty of what's going to happen. Is our program going to get canceled? One of my best friends here on YouTube and in life, Roselia Stella, you guys can go over to her channel and check out her video. But her study abroad program also had gotten canceled. But hers had gotten canceled really maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, or like 2.5 weeks before. And I really did not think that the same thing was going to happen because in Italy, she was studying in Italy. Obviously, like, it was crazy over there. That's kind of like where things kind of got out of control, but I did not think that it was going to affect my program in Brazil. So I remember earlier that morning, our program manager had sent us a message, and he was like, "Okay, guys, like, as of now, everything's good. Like, enjoy your weekend, go to the beach, like, have fun. On Monday, we're gonna see what's gonna happen, but as of now, you guys are good. Like, your program is fine." So yeah, so that's what we did. Like, we just went out and we had a good day. And when I got back home from the beach, I got in the shower. And when I got out the shower, like, one of my roommates was like yelling for me. And like I checked my phone and I got a message that our study abroad program was canceled, and that the next day we were going to be having a meeting, and that they wanted us to leave latest by Friday, but really they wanted us to be like on the first flights out of there. And I remember I just could not believe that that was happening. Obviously, and at the same time, I recognize like everything that's been happening in the world and how many people have been affected by it, and honestly that people are dying, like thousands of people are dying from this disease. And I really like been in prayer, and I've been so intentional about being present, and like just not just thinking about myself but thinking about the other people that are being affected. So I know I want this video to come off as like, woe is me, oh my gosh, like my extended vacation got canceled or whatever. But it was hard. Like I did a lot of things like to be able to go on that study abroad. I took out money to be able to go on that study abroad, and it got canceled. So even though I recognize that I'm so thankful for my health, I'm so thankful for my family's health, there were still things, I feel like at the same time, like everybody's feelings are valid, and I still get to be upset about this. Even though now, like, it is what it is, I'm over it. But I'm just telling you guys my perspective of, how I felt in that moment and how I felt when I got home and all of that good stuff. That's just like a little disclaimer in the middle of the video, but it's fine. So I remember just being so upset, and I'm like, wow, like this is crazy. Like we had such a good day. We went out, we went to the beach, we did all this different stuff, and like boom, our study abroad program is canceled. So I remember I was sitting there, and like it took me a while to tell my parents, because I'm like, yo, I know as soon as I tell my parents, like they're gonna get me out of here with the quickness. Because one of the reasons, even though like in the state that I was in Brazil, there were only 2 cases at the time, and they were people that they had brought there specifically to go to the hospital. So it wasn't even like they had gotten coronavirus in that city. But at the time, this was about a week ago now, or a week and a half ago. This is when like people were starting to close borders. So at this point, like, and I think it was like in the next day or like the next 2 days, like Ecuador was going to close their borders. Other countries in Latin America were starting to close their borders. The United States wasn't allowing any more flights coming in from Europe. So they were really worried that the United States was going to close their borders. And obviously all of us, pretty much all of us, or the majority of all of us, were US citizens. And we'd basically be stuck there, away from our families. And we didn't really know what the situation was going to turn into. So, I knew that once I told my parents that they're gonna be like, sis, pack your stuff, like you're leaving like tomorrow type thing. So that night, like me and pretty much like almost all of the study abroad people, like we went to this bar that was like nearby our apartment or whatever, and we all just went out and we were just like talking about like, our experiences and like how we were all sad to leave, and it was really sad. Then finally I told my parents about everything that happened, and my dad was like, oh no, yeah, I'm looking at tickets for like Monday, and this was Saturday night. So it was like I had like 1 day turnaround time. Like my parents were trying to get me out of there. So the next day, Sunday, I kind of I hung out with my friends. I like went to breakfast. I went to dinner with them. I did all of that good stuff. And by Monday morning at like 3:30 a.m. or 4 o'clock in the morning, I was on my way to the airport to come back to Miami. So yeah, it was definitely crazy. Definitely not at all what I planned. But at the end of the day, like I just believe that God is still good, that God has a plan for everything that he does. And even in this time of coronavirus, when things are uncertain and people are scared, like I feel like I have peace knowing that even when I don't understand it, God has a plan and he's working everything out for our good. And I know sometimes it's hard to believe that, when people are dying and this virus is literally like, affecting the world's economy and like the healthcare system and all this different stuff. But I feel like it's important for us to still like believe and stay positive that even when we don't understand, there's still something good and there's still something that's being worked out. Even if we don't particularly like it at the time, which is definitely how I felt. Like I said, I was in like paradise. I was like learning Portuguese and like I was making friends, and I was just doing all this different stuff, and just like that, it was like, okay, sis, you gotta go home. Like, I know you were planning on being here for another 4 months or so. Like, you were planning on, finishing your classes and like going to other places in Brazil. Like, girl, we were booked and busy. Like, we had flights planned. Like, we had like Airbnbs booked. Like, we were gonna go to the Iguazu Falls. We were gonna go to Salvador, which is like another state in Brazil. Like, we had plans, but it didn't matter. We had to go home. At first, I really wanted to stay. I'm like, you know what? Like, this is dumb. Like, things are not even bad here. Like, I'm gonna go back to the United States where people are like fighting over toilet paper. Like, things are just so chill here. But I knew obviously my parents were not gonna still want me there because if things did get bad, I wasn't in my own country. I wasn't gonna be with my family. So I just had to suck it up and I had to come back home. So now I'm back home, like in the Miami area. Um, in quarantine. So this is definitely different from how things were before. Literally, like, I was at the beach twice every week. Like, I was going out, I was like going to school, I was like doing all of this stuff to like at home, like quarantine and chill type of thing. So it's definitely been different. I definitely miss Brazil. I definitely like miss the people that I was like hanging out with there, like the Brazilians that I met, as well as like the other people in my study abroad program. This was definitely an amazing experience despite it having been cut short. So let me look at my notes, see if there's anything else that I missed. So yeah, so kind of just like how things have been since, like I'm back home, I'm in quarantine just like the rest of you guys are, just like you guys should be. Make sure you guys are staying inside, you guys are staying safe, and you guys are not helping the coronavirus spread. I know it's hard, but it just is what it is. And yeah. So now I'm gonna go into the Q&A section. I got some questions from my Instagram. And the first one was, how does it feel to be back at the Has? So if you guys are not familiar with that Texas slang, he's saying, how does it feel to be back at home? Um, it's definitely different, you know, like I said, like I was like going out all the time and like I was going to the beach all the time and I could just kind of go and come and say please, and now I'm in quarantine and now like I'm living with my parents, and obviously, you know, like when you're living in somebody else's space you have to do what they say and all that stuff, which can sometimes be hard, but I'm definitely like enjoying spending time with my parents, you know, like we're trying to do things to bond, like we've been like binge watching the show on Netflix, which has been fun. So it's definitely just an adjustment. It's kind of hard that like after not being home for so much time, I'm not able to hang out with any of my friends, obviously because we're in quarantine. But I just been trying to stay positive, stay productive. Like I've been talking to a lot of my friends like on like Zoom calls, you know what I'm saying? And like FaceTime and like planning like doing like virtual Bible studies and stuff. So I'm definitely like trying to stay productive and trying to be present with my family. The next thing is, who did you miss the most when you were gone? LOL. So I definitely did miss all of my friends, of course. I'm not gonna say that I miss anybody in particular. The most. I missed all of my friends, I missed my family. But honestly, y'all, like when I tell you I was not homesick, like I was not homesick. Like I was good. Like I was ready to spend the next 6 months in Brazil. Like I didn't feel homesick at all. Like so it was just like even though I missed people, like I didn't have like that overwhelming feeling of like a missing people and like wanting to come back. Like your girl was good. But anyways, I know you want to say that I missed you the most, and I definitely did miss you, but I'm not going to give you that satisfaction, okay? But I definitely miss my friends, and I miss my family. I miss all of my close friends. I felt like I was really good about like keeping in contact with them and like talking to them. So it was cool. Somebody said, how was the steak? Honey, if you guys didn't know this, even before I went to Brazil, I loved picanha. Like, picanha slaps. Like, that's like the Brazilian cut of meat. Oh my god, it was so good. It was really so good. Like, I tried not to eat too much steak because obviously red meat is not super good for you. But like, whenever I did let myself indulge in that Brazilian steak, honey, I was happy. Highly recommend. The next question was, what was your favorite thing about Brazil? Um, my favorite thing about Brazil, honestly, like I just love Brazil in general. I think Brazil is so beautiful. The people are so nice. Like people were like so nice and like so willing to like, you know, like help you learn Portuguese and like hang out with you and all that stuff. So I really really liked that. But honestly, my favorite thing was speaking Portuguese. I went there with the intention of like becoming fluent. I had been studying Portuguese already for the past year. So like your girl was ready to like go and like speak and like put herself out there and do all of that stuff. So that was definitely one of my favorite things about Brazil. But I also really like the beach too. It was fun. The next thing, any crazy roommates? I feel like that's just another story in itself. My roommates were cool. There were a few situations that happened. Luckily, they didn't really have to do with me, but it was interesting. Definitely interesting. Any man of God you thought were fine? Yes. Um, so in my apartment, this question says, how is it having no AC? Because any place with no AC is a no for me. So in my apartment, I did not have AC. Y'all, it was a little tough, I'm not gonna lie, okay? Like at first, for the most part, like it was good. Like when I first got there, like the wind was blowing. Like I had like a balcony in my room, so I would just like open the balcony door. We would always have like the windows on and we had ceiling fans. But there were some days, y'all, where the heat was hidden that I would be like sweating when I'm sleeping or like during the day. Like I would just feel like I was dying after walking up 5 flights of stairs every day and like it being hot outside and then you come inside and you don't have the AC hit you. It was a little tough sometimes, but honestly, it really was not as bad as I guess I kind of thought. Like I'm used to like going to Dominican Republic and Jamaica, which is like the countries that my families are from, and they don't have AC. So honestly, it wasn't that bad. And because I had a ceiling fan, like for the most part, it really wasn't that bad. But there were some days where I'm like, yo, I would kill for an AC right now. But yeah, it is what it is. Somebody else said, did you miss anything from the US? And now did I miss anything from Brazil? Um, I don't know, like I'm sure like there were things that like if I could have had them, I would have wanted them. Like certain like foods, like let's say like I love wings and like I'm super picky on my wings. So I didn't really eat them when I was over or I didn't eat them at all when I was over there. So it's like, yo, like I wish I could go down on some hot wings right now. But obviously it wasn't an option. So there was definitely like some foods, like fast food type of thing, or like certain things like you can only really get here that I missed. But it wasn't like an overwhelming like feeling of like missing it either. Like I cooked a lot when I was home, so I cooked the things that I wanted. I would like go out to eat too, so I didn't like super miss anything. But obviously, like there were little things like foods or like AC, but it really wasn't too bad. And now, like being back, is there anything that I miss from Brazil? I definitely, I guess, like miss like the lifestyle, like especially where I was fun in Florianopolis. Like it was such like a beach lifestyle. Like I said, there's 42 beaches there, so it was like beach every weekend, twice a weekend, like just like not really having like a whole bunch of responsibilities because even though I was in school, it was a lot easier. Like it wasn't as like I don't know, as like heavy like the workload and stuff. So that was really fun, and also just having like the accessibility of like just going outside and speaking to somebody in Portuguese, talking to my Uber driver. Definitely can't do that here. Can't even really go outside, but it's fine. Um, and then somebody else said, "What's your favorite thing from Brazil?" I already kind of said that. Just the people, the language, all that good stuff. And the last one is from my mom. How do you enjoy spending time with your parents watching Blacklist? So Blacklist is the show that we're binge watching right now. I love spending time with my family. I love watching Blacklist. Like I said, I definitely did not plan on being home this soon, but I am happy to like spend time with my family, be able to bond with them and all that good stuff. So that was just the final question. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys for just keeping up with my videos while I was in Brazil, guys. I have vlogs from Rio. I have vlogs from Sao Paulo. I have vlogs from Carnaval. Like, I was lit when I was over there, okay? So make sure you guys go and check out those videos. Make sure you guys like and subscribe before you guys leave. Make sure you guys comment down below. And like I said, I definitely don't want to be dramatic. I know that my situation is not the worst. Like, I understand that there's so many people that are sick there, that are sick around the world. There are people that have died, and like my prayers are with them. My prayers are with their families. My prayers are with this world. But I'm just sharing you guys just my experience and what it was that happened to me. But yeah. So I hope you guys remember that. Guys, give me some grace in the comment section down below because I know that there'd be some trolls. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next one. Bye.